Hi all, welcome back to the second video in this series. In the last video, we talked about Docker introduction. We answered some questions like what, why and how of the Docker. In this video, we will run a Docker hello world. When we learn any programming language, it's a custom to write a hello world program. Now let's continue with the same tradition for the Docker as well. But before we run any Docker hello world, we need to set up an environment. So let's try to set up an environment for Docker, and we will continue we'll continue this video and run the hello world program. So let me go back to my browser. Let me type install Docker. Okay, so when you search for install Docker link, okay, you might get two different links. Okay, one is, let's say, install Docker engine. Okay, as you see the first. Okay, and there's another installation called Docker desktop. Okay, so you can see Docker desktop for Windows, right? So let's go to this link, and here, so you can see I have a link here to install a Docker desktop. And if you are on Windows machine, feel free to open up this link, or on Linux, open up this link. So this is for Docker desktop, but if you want to install a Docker engine for servers, then this is another link. Let me explore where it is. So okay, I think what we can do is we can go back and click on this link where we can actually install the Docker engine and this Docker engine is specifically you can see this servers, right? So here you can use this specific link to install on the server. For example, if you're running CentOS server specific architecture, then you can use this link to install the Docker engine. You don't need a Docker desktop. So Docker desktop is basically a UI tool which gives you a lot of, it makes things easy for you to look at the containers, run some certain commands into the container, whatever CLI task that you want to do, that you can do through GUI as well. So that's the help that we get with Docker desktop. Okay, for this demo we are going to install Docker desktop. For example, I'm running on macOS. I'm going to install the Docker desktop, which is x86. Okay, so I'm going ahead and installing it. In parallel, you can go ahead and install for your own operating system. This is in progress right now. It might take a bit of a time. I think it's happening really fast though. Bless my speed, internet speed. Okay, just give me one. The file is downloaded, Docker DMG. Let me click on this one, double click this one, or open it here. Okay, asking me to drag and drop so that is application so that it is available inside the application. That's close to 2 GB. Okay, now that Docker is installed, we copied everything. Let's go back to CLI. Let's check if Docker is available. So Docker -- version. Oh, I think I am yet to launch the Docker. I should have done that. Yeah, so you can see Docker is installed right now. Docker version is 24.0.6. That means Docker is up and running. Let me show you. Let me launch the Docker desktop also. The Docker daemon is definitely running. Yeah, that's Docker engine starting. I will pause this, maybe it might take a bit of time. My installation went through now. This is what I'm seeing. Okay, when the installation has gone through, you will also see a small icon here which tells you okay, everything is up and running. You can see Docker desktop is running. We'll again cross check here, Docker minus version. It should show the Docker version, that's 24.0.6, so we are good. I hope you also were able to install this. You can pause the video and perform the installation, then we'll quickly run Docker hello world. Okay, so let's get started. So Docker run hello world. So this is the hello world in the world of Dockers. So it's not able to find that image locally. We will talk about this. What is this image? Where are these images getting pulled? Okay, and now here we can see this image was downloaded. That's the SHA one, and then this is the image we are getting. Hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. To generate this message, Docker took the following steps. Okay, so these are like some steps, and it has some other information which we are going to look into future. Okay, and then if you again try to run this, it instead of showing you to download that image option, because we now have the image locally available, and we'll again go into the depth of that. Right now as you run it, the local image is used and immediately you get this output, which means Docker is up and running. So that's our hello world, everyone, and in next lecture we are going into the details of Docker. Now we are going to see how to build a Docker, and I think before that we will talk about where these images are getting downloaded from, what is that infrastructure, what is the analogy with that, how can you imagine how all of the infrastructure is working. So we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about how to build your own Docker image, how to run your Node.js project or Java project. We are going to look into that, and we will go into the depth. Okay, thank you so much. Bye everyone.